Not true, I'll take. Disagree, disagree. I don't agree either. It's sad, not true. Okay, why do you disagree? Then. Feels very situational. I can see it. You can't force collabs. Not true, you are a donkey. Okay, dude. Okay, man. Some people just don't like to collab with people that aren't in the same follower ranges as them. As long as two people have good chemistry and enjoy themselves, it's okay. What is your opinion, Michi? Do you want my PR response? Do you want a slightly more PR
As
response?
someone with 10 PhD.s in fashion, next VTuber model trend will be all denim. It is going to be everywhere, swear.
Please, no.
Look
That
at
trend
it
was
this
like
way.
5 years
If you're
ago.
a donkey, you have a statistically higher chance of getting a hot dragon wife.
A winner! As a viewer, I only care if the streamers seem to be having fun and I'm having fun watching them. Introverts prefer collabing
I
with
think that
friends.
from a person who tried streaming. Part of the reason I didn't reach out was because I wanted to get people to come to me and like me for me, not because I collab. The real reason was because I was scared shitless.
Based. I will say, okay, this is my PR response. I don't have a PR response. I don't know. My PR response is, do what makes you happy. Smile. Woo! Yo, I love PR responses, chat. Dude, at this point, my viewers are so well acquainted with what a PR response sounds like.
You
Because I
collab with
keep
people
saying
you know.
it.
If you don't know someone, it's less simple.
Yeah, I like to... My honest response, guys, is as long as you're having fun and you're enjoying your time, things like that shouldn't matter. Oh, guys, okay, no, look away. Look, I'll be 100% real with you guys. It's always obvious. Dude, one of my favorite things about, like, obvious PR responses is that it's so obvious. And I like to imagine a bunch of people are sitting behind a desk and they're like, oh, guys, the internet's not gonna know. Let's release this clearly written by us statement. No one's gonna know, bruv. How are they gonna know this? They know. Like, come on now. At this point, the best way to do PR is to be honest. You know, be honest, genuine, and humble. That's one thing a lot of people do be messing up sometimes. They're like, I'm just being honest. It's like, yeah, I know, but you're being an asshole about it. You know, I can also be like, yeah, you look like shit today, but I don't say it, right? I go like, hey, you know, you having a good day? I'm glad you're having a good day, and you keep it to yourself. Am I right? You don't say it. God damn. I've seen so many people that are like, I don't know, I'm just being honest. It's like, yeah, sometimes you just have to be kind. And like, I don't know, the truth is great, but sometimes you keep it to yourself. Wait, you don't? I mean, I don't. I'm a streamer. What do you think? My ego's off the charts. My dick even bigger. God damn, chat. When I move wrong, Saturn moves a different way. Haha. You know, the people say the gravity is what makes the earth spin. Nah, bro. Nah, it's my peanut. It do be my peanut. Yep. But you wanna have my honest to God response, but it's not gonna be as nice as you think it is. But this is just from me, my perspective. Not everybody, because there are people like Zen, for example. Zen is so insane. She collabs with anyone. She just hangs out with people. She's very, very like approachable, very nice, very like good. You know, there's people like Zen, people like Mata. That, well, maybe not Mata. I don't know. Zen, mostly. The one I can think about right now. Zen, right? Giga. Yeah. Me personally, this is just me. I have trust issues. I won't collab with someone often unless I know you or unless you are someone my friends can vouch for. And yes, this is gonna suck, but I do prefer someone with a platform. And I know people hear that and they're like, oh, by the end of the day, this is business and it's for clout and for money. Yes. Well, yeah, but that's not the whole reason, but that is definitely up like 50%. Like 50% of the reason is yes. If you collab with someone that has a platform and they are somebody, yeah, the money's good and the clout's good, you know? Like, bro, if I'm not making money on streaming, I starve to death, right? But this is at least for me. Another 50% is I need someone that has something to lose to. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm streaming and I'm having a collab with somebody, right? And they start saying some shit. Like, they just start saying the most horrendous takes. They start making, like, dark jokes that are way too far. They start, like, basically a brand risk to themselves. Even if I'm not streaming, I'm still tied to that, right? And they start saying shit because in their heads, they have really nothing to lose and everything to gain. I have something to lose, you know? So I need to collab with someone that I know it's like, oh, you care. Like, you know how to brand yourself and you have something to lose. That way you're not just gonna start spouting racist shit Like, I can trust that you're not gonna be an ist or an obic and start saying being like, it's a joke, guys, it's a joke. It's like, the branding doesn't fit. I don't do that. Maybe if you collab with someone that does do that, it would work, but I don't. I never make jokes like that. So it'd be very, very detrimental for me. So I'm unhinged, but I have never once made jokes that are like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's a bar that I don't go to. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's preference. Humor is preference. That just ain't my preference. So I definitely am picky. I will be honest, when I read it, I agree for me. Because I'm reading through their I'm like, yeah, no, that tracks. And they're like, yeah, it sucks. It's like, yeah, but what can you do? You know, and one thing that I don't like, and you guys have known this, is anything that's too sexual. I am not like that. I don't make jokes that are like, hey, oh my God, I'm gonna pin you down and I'm gonna explain more things further. I do say out of context shit, and sometimes, yes, they can be sexual. I make jokes about my cock, but that's kind of the extent of it. I don't go like, oh, tonight, the things I'm gonna do to you. Like, I don't do that, right? And it's not because I don't think it's funny. Sometimes I think it is, but I personally feel a little bit uncomfortable about it because I don't like it. Even in chat, when someone makes a joke and it's a bit too far, you get timed out. You're not like offending anyone. I just don't like it, right? It's just not something I don't like being verbally lewded to my face. So sometimes when I do collab with people, I try not to collab with someone that do make jokes like that all the time. And there are people, like for example, Mel, right? Sometimes she does go like, oh, what are you gonna do to me? She does stuff like that. But because I know her and I've told her my boundaries, she doesn't do it to me. You know, like Mel never like does like that to me because I've said like, hey Mel, I just want you to know, I think it's fine if you do it to anyone else, but don't do it to me. I'm not very comfortable. And she's like, gotcha. So I trust her. But if I don't know you and you do make jokes like that, I can't just go like, hey, before we collab, these are my requirements. That's even weird, and I can't really fully be myself, right? Because now I'm scared. Like, I don't know if you're gonna do things and what am I gonna respond with, and I'll do my best, but you know, I get awkward. It's not like funny awkward, it's like genuinely awkward. So mostly things to lose. Like, I don't want to collab with someone that's gonna make jokes that's gonna get me canceled, and I don't want someone that's gonna make me feel kind of awkward. And if I don't know you, how am I supposed to know that, right? And then it tracks. Honestly, I agree. Because it's not even one criteria. I need like at least 3. Like, I need you to have something to lose. I need to either know you or one of my good friends vouches for you. And, well, I need to know that you're open for communication and you're not gonna throw a fit and screenshot it and cancel me. Because I'm like, hey, you know, off screen, I am very straightforward because nowadays I don't want to have any misunderstandings, right? So I'll be like, hey, I just want you to know I don't feel comfortable having this happen. It sounds like I'm mad. I'm not. I'm just telling you my opinion. Some people can be like, why are you so rude? And then now it's drama and blah, blah, blah. It's a bit scary, right? So I do agree, me personally. Nothing on you. And it's like, that sucks because smaller creators can't like branch out more. They can't connect more. You can. Just probably, I'm not the person that you can do it with, right? Like, yes, it limits people, but not completely. There are so many people that aren't like me, and they're more like fluid. They're into anything. They like to hang out with anybody. It's fine. So it does suck, but not everyone's like that. I am, but not everyone's like that. And another thing is, this is not the biggest pet peeve because I understand clout chasing. Now, don't get me wrong. I clout chased before. Everyone does. You know, the only way to get bigger nowadays is to clout chase. There's nothing bad as long as you can give something in return. But it's like not something that I'm upset about. It's just like a slight pet peeve is when they don't give anything in return. It's like, that's not even good for yourself, right? When you want to get your name out there, you're collabing with someone bigger, you know, and you want people to know who you are, you need to, well, direct the attention to you, but not in an obnoxious way. Some people don't really know that, so it's just sometimes collabs feel like people talking on top of someone else. It's just voices on top of voices. No one is really allowed to have the spotlight. The spotlight is always kind of like tossed around like food in a group of hungry people. So it's one of those things, like, it's there's a way to do it. If you really wanna stand out, here's the best way. And this is my honest opinion. This is my take as someone that has leech. No judgment to that. Leeching, you get that bag, girl. You know what I mean? But what you want to do is every time you collab with that person, you make sure that they have the limelight, because the majority of their viewers are there for them, right? If I'm collabing with Shoto and I'm not streaming my POV, I'm not gonna talk about myself. I'm gonna talk about Shoto. I'm gonna bring out Shoto's stuff. I'm gonna be like, hey, oh, by the way, guys, I'm not gonna be like, by the way, if you go to G Fuel and use code Michi, I'm not gonna do that. Well, like, by the way, man, if only there's a figure of my Oshi, but oh my god, what? Shoto has a figure? Crazy! You know? And then I'll talk about Shoto. I'll talk about if he has a new song cover, I'll talk about that. I'll ask Shoto to do more things. It's one of those things where it's like, I will promote the person that's streaming the most because their viewers are there for them, not for me. I am just a plus point. I'm just there to kind of maybe give moments where their streamer can shine more or as a funny side comment, but not as the main thing. The main act is always the person streaming. So focus on that. I know this sounds weird, but the less attention you direct to yourself, the more you get that attention anyway. Because people will be like, damn, I really like this person. And then some people will check you out. Some people might not, but some people will. Your chances are higher if you do that compared to if you're like, oh, by the way, check my out. Like people don't care about it, right? But if you try your best to just kind of position yourself in a way to be like, I support your Oshi too, guys, most people will tend to like you a bit more. I know that sounds insane, but I need to say it in a way that's like why this works. But sometimes I do see people and I'm like, oh, okay, you're just here to talk about yourself on my stream and then you off. So I'm like, okay. So it's not bad, I get it, but I don't really want to collab with someone that does that too much. You know what I mean? It's like you come on my stream, you promote yourself, you talk about yourself for like an hour and then you leave. So it's like, okay, but the vibe's not there. And this is not recently, okay? I've been in the streaming world for longer than a year.
I think the fear for me was the feeling of, oh, he's the friend of that huge streamer. If you don't have at least a small dedicated fan base to you, then you're just last year's news when you stop hanging out with the bigger streamer.
No.
So I personally wouldn't stream with someone I am not friends with till I got at least a small following based solely on my own personal skills. Because it hurts both your career and your ego being just famous streamer X guest.
Okay, I'll say that is so valid. That is completely valid, but that's the only thing I would say I disagree on. That mentality of people being like, I'm too small, I don't have a following, I can't stream with bigger people. You can. No one cares about it. As someone that's here, and I can say this, I have friends that are big streamers. Big, massive streamers. No one cares about your following. We care about your credibility. Can we trust you? Can we trust that you're not gonna say a slur on our stream? Can we trust that you're gonna be here and make content? You know, you have fun, but you make content. Are you trustworthy? Are you gonna dox us? Are you gonna say some shit? Ask us questions where we can't avoid it? Are you gonna like leak our stuff? Like, you know when people are like, oh, wait, how do you look like on stream? It immediately makes the mood look weird, right? So it's like, can we trust you to make sure that the mood stays as is, make content, and not make us uncomfortable, dox us, or say a slur? So as long as you're credible, it doesn't matter if you have a big viewership, a big following, or you have none. It's all about credibility. And that's, I would say, is so much harder to build than a following. Like viewership, following, you can blow up from one post on Twitter and now you have hundreds of thousands of followers, okay? Following is not that hard to build. What's hard is credibility, image, your reputation. We care more about your reputation than about anything else. So if you want that, if you want to prove yourself, yeah, you gotta stream. You gotta stream, you gotta talk. You gotta talk to people, you gotta branch out, you gotta prove to other people that you are trustworthy and that you're not just here to kind of it up or you don't know what you're doing and stuff like that, right? Because we're not gonna put you in an interrogation cell and be like, can you do this? We're not gonna do that. So you gotta stream. You gotta have like, the quote I use is portfolio, but it tracks, you know? What you say and what you do tracks. Yeah, like a slight background check. Because I'm gonna be real, sometimes the vibes just don't fit and that's fine. But please, this is the only thing, if anyone's listening and you're a smaller streamer, don't be scared about your following. Literally no one gives a shit about your following numbers. And it's been proven. It's never about the following. And I can say this because I've been so brutally honest. This is not PR. Like, I wish this was PR, but this is sadly not PR. It's never about your following, your viewership, or your anything, right? A bigger following helps. But if you have a smaller following, it doesn't matter. A bigger following helps because it proves that you can sustain that, you know? People like to think it's like, oh, if I have a bigger following, it's like better because people care about that. No, like me, for example, you know, I have a specific amount of viewership. You know that I am not going to say some random out-of-pocket offensive shit because it will piss a lot of people off. And once it does, everyone knows about it, right? If you piss off 2 people, everyone's not gonna know. But if I piss off someone on stream, y'all are gonna hear about it one way or another. So a big following helps because you know that they have enough experience and enough of a reputation to not become a red flag. But if you don't have a bigger following, it's still okay because it's never about the viewership. It's about your reputation, how trustworthy you are. We're very private people off stream. Like I f***ing TMI all the time, but there are a lot of things that I just don't tell people. You know, things that are private to me, like my personal information, right? I just don't f***ing say that. And if you leak these things, I will be honest, I'll be very, very upset because I already TMI. You know, the things I can keep private, I really do my best to keep it private, you know? Like, you don't have much that you can keep to yourself as something that you can just enjoy as a person. Not as a streamer, not as a VTuber. You can just enjoy this as a normal human being, a nobody. And if someone leaks that or talks about it, well, now it's gone. Now you have less. We only have like, what, 5 things that we can get, like we can have for ourselves. And now you're leaking it. Now I have less things for myself. I'd be upset. So as long as I know you're not gonna do that, give me my hair back. God damn. And as long as I know you're not gonna do that, there's no issue. People need to stop thinking it's about viewership as in numbers and start thinking it's viewership as in reputation. The bigger streamers tend to not risk getting canceled too much. And if they do get canceled, we know. we hear about it because no one shuts up about it at that point. So it's kind of just easier to do a background check on the bigger people. But if you're smaller, then just as long as your reputation's good, we trust you, you know? I've always wanted to say it, but I feel like it might be like controversial because people are like, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. The bigger streamers don't care.
It sounds a little